Hi everyone, Aidan here at the Trailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the CURT Premium hanging style bike rack and seeing how it fits on our 2023 Subaru Outback. This hanging style bike rack holds the bike by the frame and lets the rest of the bike hang down below it. It's got 3 points of contact, 2 straps up top, and a third one on the side here to limit our side-to-side movement and bike-to-bike contact. Now, I will say that this type of strap, the stretchy rubber material, although it is kind of nice for just weather resistance and ease of use, it's not the most secure. And there is still quite a bit of side-to-side movement with the bike, but you can always add an extra strap after the fact to help cinch things down. With a hanging style bike rack, you are going to face some limitations. It's not a good option for carbon frame bikes because any sort of frame contact is bad for them. And then with alternative frame bikes, you do have to be mindful of probably needing a bike adapter bar to get the bike to hang level. Now, aside from that, you're going to be working with a total weight capacity of 180 pounds, so do be mindful of that and keep under that weight limit. And then one thing you'll notice with the arms is that they narrow in together at the end. This is to help accommodate kids' frames, just because those smaller frames don't typically work as well with the dual arm design here. But do be aware that it's not going to fix the problem for all kids' bikes. Certain ones probably still will need a bike adapter bar, but this does help remedy the situation to an extent. So if you do get this for a family bike rack, just know that it's maybe not going to work for every kid's bike out there, depending on how small that frame is. To get access to the back of your Outback, you do need to remove the bikes first to tilt the rack away. So those rubber straps can just get popped off, the locking posts, and then feed this off of the arms. You do have to lift up a fair bit to get those removed, and those inner cradles are a bit harder to get to. But overall, the process isn't too difficult, especially once you get towards the end and the arms narrow. And then I always like to replace these straps just so they're not freely moving around. And we can do the tilting, which is located down at the bottom. There's going to be a couple different pieces here. The knob at the back will unthread and loosen, allowing for a little bit more movement in the mast. Then we can unpin and clip the main support right here, and then this plunger right here will pull up to release it and let the whole rack tilt away. You can do this with the arms up or down, but this gives us room to open up the hatch on our Outback and get things out of the back. It also gives a good place to maybe sit down and change your shoes before or after your ride, but the downside is you have to do this with the bikes unloaded. So if you're taking this on a long road trip and you need something out of the back, it's probably going to be easier to just reach over the back seat rather than unloading all 4 bikes, getting something out of the back, putting it back into place, and then reloading all 4 bikes. But before or after your ride, you're probably already going to be removing the bikes, then you don't have to worry about it. When you fold this back up, be sure to repin it, clip, and tighten that knob at the back. And the reason there's so many touch points here is that this is approved for motorhome use, so there needs to be a few more pieces to kind of stabilize this moving part for use in that motorhome scenario. So for just a passenger vehicle like this, it does result in a little bit more work, but the result is a nicer weight capacity compared to some other racks out there. At this point, we can get some measurements. We'll start off with our distance added to the back of the Outback. From the bumper to the outer edge of the arms, we're going to be sitting at 38 inches, which for a 4-bike rack is actually really solid. But you can save some of that space by coming to the top here where we've got a pin and retaining clip. Just pop that out, pull the pin, and fold the arms down. So if you want to leave this in the hitch between rides, you can, and it saves a lot of space this way. Now only adding about 12.5 inches to the back bumper. So it's a lot more condensed and easier to pull into maybe your garage or a parking spot. The ground clearance at the back end here is going to be 13 inches. It's pretty much just going to come straight out from the hitch. So it doesn't give you the best ground clearance, and when you add bikes, that might change. So just be aware of that and watch out for it. I'd say overall it's fine though. And then down at the hitch, it's working with our 2" by 2" receiver tube and uses an anti-rattle bolt to keep it nice and solid in there. It doesn't lock, but you can pick up a lock separately if you'd like, and it'd be a good idea to pair it up with a cable lock. There is a spot in the back for a cable lock to pass through, but again, it doesn't come with it, so just be aware that if you want to add it, you've got the space for it. And if you like this bike rack and you're thinking you maybe need some extra capacity, CURT does make a 5-bike version of this. The only real difference is it sticks out a little bit further, it adds a third one of those kids cradles, and then it bumps the weight capacity up to 225 pounds. Aside from that, all the functions are going to be the exact same though, and if you're looking at a hanging style rack and you think this one's maybe a little much for you, I'd recommend the Yakima Ridgeback. The tilting of folding of the arms is a lot easier because it doesn't use pins and clips, it just uses hand levers, so it's a little bit simpler. But that'll do it for our look at the CURT Premium hanging style bike rack on our 2023 Subaru Outback. Thanks for watching.